Hi friends, welcome back to the channel Job Updates by Verma. I give daily job updates as well as interview tips, how to crack online assessment round, interview. All details I will share in this uh, channel. So if you have come first time in our channel, you can subscribe. You can go through different videos, your interview related videos, tips related videos, your job notification, all over everything you will get regarding the placement solution. You will get the first job with us, achieve the success with us. Try to share this channel with your friends. So in today's video I will discuss about the pseudocode pattern for Capgemini pooled off campus drive. So recently I have published the notification for Capgemini. They're hiring bulk hiring. It's a 2021 batches drive. So across India the CTC is quite good, 3 to 3.8 LPA. So any graduate are eligible like BE, Tech, BCM, CME, MTech. So in today's video I will discuss about the online assessment, technical assessment, pseudocode round related questions, few previously asked questions. All details I will share in this video, what is the exam pattern and how we will get those questions. So I have sorted out few questions which already have come previous year examination and previous off-campus drive of Capgemini. So I have collected few pseudocode questions. So I will share those questions and solutions with you in this video. Stay tuned with me. So you can see pseudocode questions of Capgemini. It's a I will say it's a very good round and it's very easier those who practices the pseudocode. And in terms of TCS or CTS, pseudocode Capgemini round is quite easier than these two companies. So the section will be here, like the questions will be asked from the data structure and algorithm, 10 questions from data structure, and from algorithm 15 questions will be asked. So all total 25 questions will be there in the pseudocode round, which should be answered in 25 minutes. 1 minute is maximum amount to give the answer for each questions. Okay, so basically the syllabus they follows for the previous rounds or the previous years examination, like programming logics, data structures, algorithm and OOPS concepts. So mostly the questions will come from these few areas. Okay, so the latest questions I have sorted out are these, like here one pseudocode portion is given or one code snippet is given, integer variable declared and some value is defined to I. Then what is doing, they are printing I plus 3 value, and then again I equal to I minus 1, and while I not equal to 0 the loop will occur and end of while. So what should be the answer? So a do while loop is a control flow statement and that executes a block of code at least once, so then repeatedly execute the given boolean condition at the end of the block. So the correct answer for this question will be 654. So if you check the explanation like here, so you have to check, it will first print I plus 3, that is 3 plus 3 6. Then it will do I equal to value 2, and as it is doing I equal to I minus 1, so it will again subtract it to 2. Then we need to go through checking the do while condition, that I not equal to 0, so again the loop will occur. So now I plus 3 will print here, so I value is 1 here and I plus 3 here will be 4. On the next line I will be decremented by 1, and again do while loop runs for I not equal to 0. So now here the updated I value is 0, then 0 factor 0 not equal to 0 is not true, then the loop will get terminated. So correct answer would be 654. Okay, so I think it's clear to you. Next, another example code you can take, you can practice for this question. You can take a screenshot. Now I will go for the second question. Here also the output you have to find out. Integer variable a is defined, string type variables str1 is defined, and string 1 has a value of goose. A equal to string length str1, so here you need to count all the characters 1 2 3 4 5, and print a to the power 1. So here this symbol bitwise exclusive OR operator that compares each bit of the first operator, okay, or first operand to the corresponding bits of its equal operand. So here the string length actually give you the number of the characters in the given string. So if one bit is 0 and other bit is 1, then the corresponding result bit is to 0 for according to the logic of bitwise OR. So otherwise the corresponding result bit is set to 0. So here the question answer will be B, because there are two variable, one is a, another one is the string 1. Value initiated by string 1 is Bruce. On the next line we are finding the length of the string is 5, obviously I have shown you, and printing of output of bitwise exclusive OR operator with 1, the result will be 4. Okay. Another example is given, you can take a screenshot and do your practice. So now the third question. So the questions I am now discussing, all these questions obviously come previous round, so I have sorted it, so you can practice these questions also. You may have a chance to get this similar question in your exam. So third question is showing three integer variable, each are having some values, a equal to 8, b equal to 51, c equal to 2, and what is c is defining, it is again doing the bitwise operation, and mod operation is there, like a bitwise c, it is in the first bracket, again the bitwise operation will be done with a, and b equal to b mod 4. So now you have to print the value of a plus b plus c. So here also the answer will be 13, question number A, because there are three variables ABC, value is 8, 51 and 2, you can check once again. And when they are doing bitwise operator exclusive OR of 8 bitwise 2, the answer is 10, again 10 bitwise exclusive OR to 8 is 2, which will be stored in C. Then taking modulo operation, B modulo 4 will be answer 3. So B is 51. So B modulo answer will be 3. So finally, after adding these ABC, you will get 13. 8 plus 2 plus 3. Another question, you can take a screenshot and practice. I have now going to the fourth question, where the array is given. You can check the value of the array and a key which is equal to 10. How many comparison would you done to find the key element in the array using binary search? So you have to remind the binary search algorithm there. So the integer array is given, key value is 10. So first, in case of binary search, it only allows in the sorted ordered list. So here it is in sorted format. So binary search takes log n base 2 time to search for a particular element. If there are n elements, the set will you choose binary search take log n base 2 times to find the complexity. So first you will check how many elements in your array. So here total 7 elements are there. If an element in your array is greater than 1, then you go for the next step, that is binary search divides the problem into two parts. So 7, it will be done in this portion, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6, 11, 12, 5 will be the middleman. So total number of element which is sorted mean equal to 0 plus n divided by 2. Then you have to compare the searching element which is either greater than mean or lesser or equal to the mean. So if you apply the recursive equation of the binary search algorithm, so that is that the time complexity n equal to time complexity n by 2 plus 1 to solve this problem, n by 2 to the power k equal to 1, taking log both side, log n equal to log 2 to the power k, log n equal to k log 2, k equal to log n base 2, n equal to 7. So k log 7 base 2 equal to 3. So k value should come, answer should come as 3. So 3 is the right answer. how many time you need to compare? 3 times. Okay. So now fifth question, again a code snippet is given to you. Integer 3 variables are defined, k value is given, for loop is running with I as an increment. Inside that j is looping over I, then it is printing k plus 1, then first end loops closes and then next. So you have to choose the answer. So right answer is the 9. Why it is? Just 3 variables ij k declared, value initialized k is 8. We are moving to nested loop. If I is 1, loop will check for I less than equal to 1, I less than equal to 1. Condition gets true. Now moving with the inner loop. Here j value is 1, condition gets again true, j less than equal to 1, it prints k plus 1. So k is 8, so 8 plus 1 is 9. And then j value incremented by 1, that is 2 greater than equal to plus 1, so it's false condition, inner loop closes. On the next iteration I value is also incremented by 1, so I is also 2, it's also false, giving the condition, so answer will be 9. It is another example, you can practice it, take a screenshot. So the question number 6 is, here also a code snippet is given, integer variables are given, you have to find the modulo and find the a plus b. So here the correct answer will be 0 because a is 15, b is 7, so a mod a minus 3, so 12, a modulo 12, answer will be 3. It will store in a. For the next 7 is the b's value, so 7 mod 7 modulo 4, the answer will be 3 here also. So next line, the value of a mods 1, so 3 modulo 1 will be 3, and 3 modulo 1 into 1, the answer will become 0 and stored in a. In the next line, the value of b mod by 1 module 3 modulo 1, the answer is again 0. So finally adding up all these value, it will give the 0, so answer will be 0. So next question, again a code snippet is given, take a screenshot, try to take the screenshots because it will help you to do your preparation. While I am explaining these problems, you are not able to understand at that time, but if you take screenshots, then it will be easier to you to grasp the concept. So here a condition is given, b greater than a and a greater than c, and then c greater than b, then b equal to a plus 1, otherwise a equal to b plus 1. After if statement complete, you have to print a plus b plus c. Here correct answer is 13. Why it is happening? 3 variables a, b, c, value are 2, 5 and 2. Checking the condition, b greater than a, true, a greater than c, and c greater than b. Here if condition get false because a greater than c is not true and c greater than b also not true. So now else part is executing, else part is given as b plus 1, so 5 plus 1 will be 6, it will be stored in a. Finally adding a plus b plus c, so a is 6, b is 5, plus 2, result is coming 13. I think it's clear. Now for question 8, it is given, so for which application can you use hashing? So only for 1 and 3 answer, to construct message authentication code and for detecting a cycle in a graph, we required hashing technology. Or these are the options, only 1 and 2, only 1, only 2 and 3. So the correct answer is D, that is only 1 and 2, to construct a message authentication code and for time stamping. So constructing a message authentication code and time stamping are the real-time application of hashing. Okay. So next question, you have to consider an array of float. Calculate the difference between the address of the first and fourth element, assuming float occupies 4 bits of memory. So here the right answer is C. First element, consider the address of the element. First element is 1000, and the difference between the address of the fourth element you have to calculate, assuming the floor occupies 4 bytes. So next element will be obviously 1004. Each of the element is taking 4 bytes area. So the fourth element will be at 1012. So the difference between 1000 and 12 will be 12. So C is the right answer. Next question, what is the second part of a node of a linked list that contains the address of the next node called? Answer will be link D. So now the next question, if you are using DFS algorithm for traversing unweighted graph, then which of the following will happen? It produces the minimum spanning tree, it produces all pair of shortest path tree. So depth first search for traversing an unweighted graph will produce the minimum spanning tree, and only depth first search for traversing a weighted graph will produce all pair of shortest path tree. So only one is true, that is it produces the minimal spanning tree. Option D is correct. Okay. Now question number 12, which gives you the information, find out the address of array 17 in a 1D array of array 30. Lower bound is 1, starting base is equal to 1100, size of each element is 2. So array 17 is a position, array 17 you have to find out the address. So we need to find the address of array 17 starting from the base address as 1100. So array 1 is 1100. In this manner, if you do calculation, you will be finding that array 17 is at 1132 position. So A is the correct answer. So next question is, what will be the output of this pseudocode? Array is defined, one array integer is defined, another integer variable are defined. Then you have to do the array adding operation for array 1 and array 2, and you have to print the value of A. So the value is 50. Why it is so? The array defined as the value with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There are two variables A and B declared, and the value initial is for A is 0. On the next line it is adding the first index value 20 to the second index value 30. So 20 plus 30 is 50. Answer C is correct answer. So question number 14, 3 integer variable defined, B equal to 2 and A equal to 2, C equal to A bitwise operation with B, print C. So correct answer is 0. Why it is so? There are 3 variable ABC, value initialized A is 2 and B is 2. If we do bitwise or operation 2 bitwise 2, then answer is 0. Finally print of the value will be 0. Next question number 15, what is the result of the pseudocode? So most of the questions you can see that they will provide you the code snippet, you have to find the output, otherwise you need to fill the objective questions for different MCQs related to data structure, related to algorithms, related to binary search tree, DFS, etc. So these are the key area. Just try to remember these topics. It will help you to do your preparation for Capgemini pseudocode round. So for this question, the correct answer will be A, 1, 3, 6, 10, 15.